Well, Piercen, we get this thing in just before the rain and a playoff drama. And I guess when you finished, did you feel you had done enough to even get into playoff?
I didn't. To be honest, I felt like the course was kind of to be had today, and I was almost certain that someone from that group of guys that shot 74 yesterday was going to come in low, and clip the. Me and Tommy, we played some good golf today, but I was sure someone was going to come in lower, and when I came back up to the scoring and I didn't see anything lower, I was a little surprised, to be honest, but I was also extremely pleased that it gave me the opportunity to go out in a playoff and earn my spot.
So what was anything different about today's round from yesterday? What did you do maybe to even get yourself in the playoff? Anything heroic down the stretch?
There was really nothing going on today. I couldn't get a putt to drop, and I missed a couple shots, and I hit some poor chips coming in. But it was all just a grind the last 36 holes, and I stuck with it, and I stayed really patient. I didn't make that many birdies compared to what I might normally make, but my bogey avoidance was good enough to put myself in a playoff, and I didn't make any doubles, which is really big on these courses, just with the importance that driving the ball is out here. I drove it well enough to not make anything worse than a bogey, and that was huge in keeping my rounds solid and recoverable with just a few birdies each round.
The playoff was kind of a smorgasbord. Everything that's great about junior golf right now in Wisconsin. You've got a representative from each of the two dominant teams the last few years at the high school level. You got a Badger recruit, and then you got a kid that in Josh, who's maybe up and coming, maybe did something today that will pay off down the road. What did you see in that group as you sit on the playoff hole, and how did you assess your chances?
Well, so I played with Cam yesterday, and he struck it great yesterday, and pretty much hit almost every green. Just couldn't get a putt to drop, and I kind of approached the playoff like everyone's capable, and I approached it the way that I assumed everyone was going to make a birdie, and I felt that I had to as well, and I feel like that's the easiest way to approach it, because then you're not that surprised when someone does. I expected all those guys to make their putts on the playoff hole, and when they missed, the door was open, and I was happy to step through.
What did you have into the green?
I was 136 yards into a really strong wind with the storm that was moving in. So I took an 8-iron, and the ball was a little above my feet. I flighted it in there really nice, and put it about 15 or 18 feet past the pin. And it was a putt that I hadn't had earlier, but I saw one of the guys in my group had it, and so I pretty much knew what it was going to do. And there was only just a couple cups of break in it, so it wasn't the most complicated putt on the green. I hit it with a lot of pace, but it hit right in the middle of the hole, so I was happy.
And what was your reaction when you saw it go in, and knowing what this means? You get to go to nationals again, and you've exercised your demons at Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to play well here is probably one of the things that I'll take away the most from the summer. It's a place that it can really test your game, tee to green, and then the greens have so much slope in them that if you're on a wrong tee, or some of them just have enough slope in there, on the tier that the pin's on, that you have to play a lot of break. And so my putting wasn't phenomenal this week. It was good enough that I got down in 2 for most places. My ball striking was okay. I didn't always hit the right spot in the green, but I normally hit the green, and my driving was really good. So I was happy to see that improvement from the last couple of years when I hit it in the trees way too many times to even have a shot at this. So I'm really happy to have played well here, and to qualify for the PGA is something that's really special to me, because this year I earned my spot, and last year I had to write a letter to the committee to get my spot in, because I hadn't played well enough in this qualifier, and I couldn't play in the other qualifier at Brown Deer and Dretzka. And then 2 years ago I took runner-up at Brown Deer Dretzka, and I just got the call a couple weeks beforehand from Andy saying that they had opened up another spot for our section and that I was the alternate. So this is the first year that I've earned my spot outright. So that's a big honor for me, just to be able to go there knowing that that I played well enough to earn my spot into the event, instead of being the next guy in line, or having to write something to the committee.
And lastly, they always say in high school golf to junior golf, there's always tomorrow. You guys play so much. Is this a good does this kind of show that you know, for as much as everyone paid attention last week, you know, here you are in the middle of nowhere. There, you know, a lot of, you know, fellow players and their parents, your parents, you know, that kind of thing. Was this a good way to bounce back? And is this kind of, you know, show people that, you know, one tournament doesn't the summer make?
Yeah, that's the, you know, I didn't come here meaning to prove anything like that. It might just so happen that that's what people take away. But no, I came here to prove to myself that that last week wasn't, you know, really anything to sweat about. You know, it would have been nice, but at the end of the day, it's a tournament, and the amount of times that you win a tournament and every year, you know, you don't win very many every year. And so to win this week, you know, I kind of look at it just about the same as if I had won last week and not won this week and took sixth. You know, they're more or less equal in my mind. 36 holes against just about the same field.
Right.
A little smaller here, but a lot of the same guys. So, you know, there really wasn't much that I was trying to prove. Just, you know, kind of validating to myself that I can play here, I guess.
Yep. Well, great job, Piercen, and excitement. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.